It is Locked On NBA Game Night for the night of Wednesday, November 5th. On today's show, Anthony Edwards makes his return to the Timberwolves. Darius Garland returns to the Cavs, and our last undefeated team goes down after a wild comeback. All of that and more on today's Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
All right, welcome to Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game, every night. Thank you for making Locked On NBA your first listen every day. I'm Wes Goldberg, and joining me, as he does every Wednesday night, it's Tony East. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com today to get started. We're going to talk about the returns of two All-Stars to the court in a second, but let's start with the game that just ended, Tony, in Los Angeles, where the Lakers beat the Spurs 118-116. Luka Doncic, what a game. 35 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, but wait, there's more. 5 steals and 2 blocks. He was amazing in this one. He outplayed Victor Wembanyama, which was the marquee matchup, Luka versus Wemby. Wemby ends up fouling out in the last 2 minutes of this game. The Lakers get the win without LeBron and also without Austin Reaves available. What did you see in this one, Tony?
Luka is a dog. And I've been thinking a lot about the Lakers. This is their 5th win in a row. And you just see this team, and it's like all summer, we're all talking, 4th, 5th, 6th best team in the West. And maybe they settle there. We haven't seen them with LeBron. We don't know what this big three is going to look like together. But I kind of just feel like I forgot how freaking great Luka can be, man. Like when he's at his absolute apex, he can win a team a game by himself. He can do stuff that nobody else can do. He can whip passes all over the floor and make easy shots, and it's a tight game late. And every time he dribbles one time, the Spurs, yep, 2 defenders right over there. Like, we don't care who else gets good shots. And then Rui Hachimura has an easy drive or what, like a million guys are open. He is an offense unto of himself, even where he's like, his efficiency is just okay. You're still panicking every time he touches the ball. Luka Doncic is incredibly good.
The Lakers without LeBron and Austin Reaves are running them out there with some really funky lineups, right? I mean, Luka's out there with like Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Connect, Bronny James is getting minutes, Nick Smith Jr. is getting minutes, and he just makes it all happen. He just makes it. It almost doesn't matter who's out there with him. Do you have 2 hands and can shoot a basketball? Fine, like just put him out there. As long as Luka's handling the ball, he's gonna make stuff happen offensively. Tony, what's really impressing me though, especially in this game, but even kind of lately with Luka on the court, he's kind of defending the best he's ever defended. He's really engaged. He's fighting over screens. I mean, the steals are there, right? The 5 steals and the 2 blocks speak for themselves, but like, it's just a level of effort that we haven't really seen from Luka, especially in Dallas. You could argue is probably the reason why he no longer is in Dallas, right? It was because he wasn't putting that effort in there. But in Los Angeles, the Lakers, he's been great. He's been really good on that end so far.
Mavs look really good too. Defense wins championship.
There you go.
Yeah, I hate to play up this cliche because it's been done a million times, but turns out when you're in shape, you can give more effort on both ends of the floor and not have to save your energy for the other end. And I'm not saying that's the only reason he looks better on defense. Going from a 3 out of 10 to a 4 or 5 out of 10 on defense is a big improvement for a guy like him. You always know with guys like him and LeBron and whoever, if you read the game really well and you up a bunch of assists, you also are still reading the game well on defense. You just may not try the hardest or, be in a position to actually do anything about it. So Luka knows what's happening. He's just not that fast or that or efforty in the past on defense, but he's been both here in a way that's made him meaningfully better. And so it's you just need Ayton to give you a little bit and Mark Smart to a bunch of free throws. And that's enough. That's literally all the Lakers need.
As impressive as this was for Luka, disappointing for Victor Wembanyama. He fouls out in the last couple of minutes, finishes with 19 points on 5 of 14 shooting, 8 rebounds, just 1 block shot for him, 5 turnovers in this game in just under 33 minutes. He was outplayed by DeAndre Ayton, right? Ayton had 22 points, 10 rebounds in this game. What What were you seeing from Victor Wembanyama in this one?
Second straight, I believe the Phoenix game is the most recent game before this, where he was also not, particularly awesome in that game either. Look, I think teams are getting a little bit better figuring out kind of what they need to do to slow him down. And you were there, or maybe not there. I don't remember what the game was, but like the Heat were like, Davion Mitchell, we're putting a tiny guard on you because your dribble is so long from your way to the floor that is like the most disruptive way. And sometimes he's just going to score because he's 10 feet taller than you, but that forces him to turn it over. If he's going to be on the perimeter, it like works sometimes. So when the Spurs don't have their guards like absolutely clicking or making shots, you can swarm him a little more, make life hard. And he's had 2 not awesome games in a row after just destroying everybody to start the season. And if he's not there, the Spurs just do not have enough other power or star power to make for it. And so you come up 12 to he's in foul trouble and Harrison Barnes is in foul trouble. And someone fouled out that I can't remember. I mean, there were, what were there, like 80 free throws in this game? And, insane. A limited Wemby plus a game flow that favors the Lakers. You're just toast if Spurs.
Let's go to our other primetime game. This one in New York. Anthony Edwards was supposed to be out at least 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. And then on Tuesday, the Timberwolves announced that he has been upgraded to questionable for this game at Madison Square Garden. He makes his surprising return after just 1 week, basically, to face the Knicks. Unfortunately, this game was not even close. The Knicks pull away. They win this one 137-114. The Knicks have now won 3 games in a row. Here's more from Gavin Shaw of Locked On Knicks.
Second half in which they scored 83 points and played near perfect basketball on both ends. The Knicks showed you their ceiling and earned their win of the year against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 137-114. What's up, guys? I'm Gavin Shaw of the Locked On Knicks podcast. Many of us over the offseason argued this was the year for the Knicks to go win a championship. If they can play like this with any kind of consistency, they will be in those conversations. And what stood out to me the most in this one was just the versatility of how the Knicks can beat you. The rim pressure applied by a finally healthy Mitchell Robinson and a finally healthy Josh Hart, who, much to Chris Finch's chagrin, was drawing hard closeouts after a 4-for-5 night from 3 and playing out of that. He was able to create threes. He was able to create dunks. Mitchell Robinson had 9 offensive rebounds in just 16 minutes. He bullied Rudy Gobert on one end. He bullied Julius Randle at times on the other. He was extraordinary. And the Knicks can pivot off that and say, hey, but we can get you with our pace. They get a 3 for Mikal Bridges and a layup for OG Anunoby to start the second half as Jalen Brunson pushes the basketball. Hey, in the half court, we can play 5 out, and Karl Anthony Towns can throw a pass over his head to Jordan Clarkson for a dunk. We can have OG Anunoby, one of the most athletic players in the league, chase Julius Randle off the ball, knock it down the court and get a dunk, or crash in for a reverse layup putback, something I don't know if I've ever seen before in an NBA game. It was all these guys playing their best, and boy, did it look good in New York.
Tony, are you as impressed with the Knicks as Gavin is?
Yeah, they played great. I mean, the Wolves have been with Rudy Gobert on the floor, not when he's off, like a good defensive team. They thought, man, like we said, got to the basket, made great plays, kept the ball moving in a way that is productive. And like the Knicks have been getting a little better, working in a new coach, figuring stuff out, getting healthier. I don't know what their absolute ceiling is yet. I haven't quite seen it. Obviously, they made a bunch of 3 skin that's going to help good, but they really did. They really did look good. And oh, by the way, Wes, unsaid Gavin, the Knicks leader in minutes, just 33 minutes for Bridges. It's a new year for the New York Knicks, who have figured out how to use their depth, and all bench guys that played, Hart, Shamet, McBride, Clarkson, little Yabusele, they were all good. Turns out they can, in fact, help you win games if you have a deep team.
Yeah, they're playing routinely 9 or 10 guys, mostly 10 guys in that rotation. And with Mitchell Robinson back, it even deepens that bench a little bit more, obviously. And offensively, after I thought it got out to a little bit of a rocky start, they've really figured things out. Karl Anthony Towns is playing a lot better after kind of a rough shooting start to his season. He's playing better. Jalen Brunson's got the ball a little bit more. Mikal Bridges is finding his spots. OG Anunoby is making shots. The Knicks are 5th in schedule-adjusted offensive rating right now. I mean, that's the formula for this Knicks team. They're going to be, like, we know what the issues are for them defensively. Like, you have a pretty firm ceiling defensively when you're built around Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, and when really your best lineups are probably Towns at the 5, or maybe your crunch time lineups have Towns at the 5 a lot of nights. But that offense needs to carry them, and so far it is. And to Gavin's point, like they have a lot of different things on the menu where they didn't have all those things on the menu last year. But coming up, Anthony Edwards was not the only all-star guard who made his return on Wednesday night. We'll tell you how Darius Garland looked in his first game back for the Cavs this season after this. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night is brought to you by Gusto. Let's be real. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in, to take the stress out of payroll benefits and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. Gusto is the all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle of hidden fees. Unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. Gusto's automated tool offers letters, onboarding materials, and direct deposits, saving you hours every week. And knowing that you can reach certified HR experts anytime gives you real peace of mind. So try Gusto today at gusto.com/lockedonnba and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/lockedonnba. One more time, that's gusto.com/lockedonnba. Welcome back to Locked On NBA Game Night, the best way to support the show. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcast app. Let's go to Sixers at Cavs. Darius Garland, who hasn't played yet this season because of offseason toe surgery, made his season debut for the Cavs. Definitely rusty in this one, Tony. He finished with 8 points on 11 shots, but didn't matter. The Cavs still get the comfortable win, 132-121. Story of the game was Donovan Mitchell, who erupted for 46 points to lead the Cavaliers. Here's more from Locked On Cavaliers host Danny Cunningham.
Danny Cunningham here at Rocket Arena after the Cavs beat the Philadelphia 76ers 132-121. For the first time all season, Darius Garland suited up for the Cavs. After he had an offseason foot surgery, he made his season debut against Philly, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this was the best basketball the Cavs have played so far this year, particularly on the offensive end of the floor. I thought the ball movement was fantastic for the Cavs, especially early on. They had 41 points in the first quarter against a good Sixers team. Yes, was on the second night of a back-to-back, but I thought this was a very impressive showing for them offensively. The biggest reason why it was so impressive offensively, Donovan Mitchell. He had 46 points, was extremely efficient. He looked like somebody that is, an all-NBA first-team guard. He was fantastic in this game and the guy that the Cavs need him to be throughout this season. Now the Cavs will hit the road. They head to Washington for an NBA Cup game on Friday night before they return home Saturday against the Bulls. And this was, by the way, the first classic edition night of the season for the Cavs. They wore their navy blue jerseys for the first time this season.
All right, very cool. I'm cutting you off there when you start getting into the jerseys that they're wearing, Danny.
No. It looked awesome. It looks like, I know why you're cutting off, but it looks awesome. Credit to the Cavs.
Credit to the Cavs. Darius Garland, a little bit rough, but to Danny's point, made the offense flow a little bit more. Tony, what did you like from them in this one?
Yeah, man, he takes 7 threes. Like, Darius Garland's enough that all the threes he takes, you at least think it can go in. And, he looked comfortable enough. And it's just like an ecosystem thing for this team last year that was such a buzzsaw offensively. When they finally have all their players, everybody knows where to go. Everybody knows what to do. Oh, Evan Mobley's a little pro. Jalen Tyson's actually kind of good, filling in on the wing. They have everybody together. Everybody's in double figures except for Garland. They can move the ball, like he said. Obviously, everything's going to look when Donovan Mitchell, yeah, I'm the best. But they all looked really good in this game. They all function really well. Rotation is where Kenny Atkinson wants it. And they don't even have either of their starting potential. The Cavs are good. It could be if Garland gets going pretty quickly. A pretty scary team, I think.
With this Cavaliers team the last couple of years, we've never doubted the talent, right? Donovan Mitchell, ever since getting him in that trade, plus Darius Garland, plus Jared Allen, plus Evan Mobley. Mobley just keeps getting better. Donovan Mitchell on MVP ballots last year. Nobody's ever doubted the top-end talent. I think the thing that's held the Cavs back is just making it all work together. And I think with Garland back in the lineup, and then you add somebody like Lonzo Ball, who's coming off the bench now for them, and then a guy like Jalen Tyson, who they take last year in the draft and has really played well in his minutes so far, I feel like the glue for this team got stronger from last year to this year. And having Garland back and kind of seeing this team with Garland now plus Lonzo plus Jalen Tyson getting real minutes, I feel a lot better about this team. And then seeing Donovan Mitchell just go off, and obviously we've seen him go off 100 times before, but it really just reinforced, like, to me, this team is at its best when Donovan Mitchell is playing that way. And we could talk about Donovan Mitchell last year taking a step back for the betterment of the team and being a little bit more unselfish on all these teams. I kind of want him to be more selfish, because when he's scoring 40 plus, this offense looks unstoppable, and you kind of just trust everybody else, like defensively, Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year, to kind of figure it out. I mean, this was the best Cleveland has looked, in my opinion, all season.
You'll remember last West that, like, my hottest take on the show every week was that Darius Garland was having a better season at times. The Cavs were just like a friggin' bizarre for the last start to the season. It looked incredible. But yeah, like at their absolute apex ceiling for the Cavs, is clearly their best offensive player and can do games like this. And he's the only one who had games like this postseason. And for them to consistently win playoff games, they need both of those guards to be really good. Garland gave them nothing in the second round against the Pacers. He was so hurt. So obviously encouraged they could just rip. Actually, pretty good Sixers team when Mitchell plays pretty well, but they'll need Garland to be like a 27 kind of guy to be the team that could actually make the finals out of the East.
This is a new segment that we call No More Zeros. No more winless teams, no more undefeated teams. We're going to start with the undefeated team that suffered its first loss of the season in Portland. The Blazers beat the Thunder 121-119. Thunder's first loss of the year after starting 8-0. Here's Rylan Stiles from Locked On Thunder with more.
City Thunder lose their first game of the season, blowing a 20-point lead to the Portland Trail Blazers. SGA not efficient tonight. This defense, best in the league, could not get enough stops in the fourth quarter. And ultimately, the Thunder fall to Portland. First time in 16 games they've dropped the Portland Trail Blazers, but the Thunder were due for a loss. This was a tough second night of a back-to-back 3-game and 4-night stretch for Oklahoma City. It happens. I thought that Wiggins played well. I thought that Cason Wallace continued to be disruptive defensively for most of the game, but ultimately they ran out of gas, plain and simple. They were lethargic in the second half of this game. Their shots fell short, and they just did not have enough to get this win. Credit to Portland. They started to make their shots after that first quarter, especially in the second half. You saw Drew Holiday really get going. Denny Avdia lived at the free throw line for good reason, because he was a matchup nightmare for this team, being very short-handed, not having the typical length and size that they do. Ultimately, though, good fight by them at the end. They just came up short, and the Thunder are now 8-1.
Tony, I hate to take any credit away from Portland because they played an amazing game, and we'll talk about it here in a second. They've been playing really good basketball, but I agree with Rylan. Like, that's a Thunder team that just looked tired. It looked like they were walking with cinder blocks on their feet at the end of that one.
My biggest takeaway from that short video is that Rylan needs to hold his phone a little bit far from his face. He's telling about the Thunder. Yeah, I agree. You know, he got going late, but like his shot was never really on an even late. He had a couple shots that were well short of where they needed to be. AJ Mitchell obviously stepped up in a lot of ways. He's been very good also. But their bench guys were just really rough. Isaiah Joe couldn't make a thing. Jalen Williams couldn't make a thing. The healthy James. Ousmane Dieng played a lot and like didn't really give him a whole lot. Like their starter line, they were in the game, had a chance to win it late. Thanks to Aaron Wiggins doing a lot of stuff throughout this game. They were up, like you said, at one point. But yeah, they certainly ran out of gas. And I think where you saw that the most, ironically, with defense, with fouling, and then late in the game, they need any stop to get back in the game. And they just like give up a sliver of space to Drew Holiday for no reason. And he sticks a three. And then Denny, the same thing. Just they're a little too far away, being a little too lazy. He sticks a three. Like, you know, you get those stops, and they couldn't quite do it. They gave themselves a chance at the end with some drama. But yeah, you could tell it was 3 and 4 nights against all quality opponents, and no one's thinking any less of the Thunder, but they lost. The Blazers have been much better than I predicted this season so far.
Under Coach Thiago Splitter, of all things, too. The Blazers have won 4 of their last 5 games. They've got wins over the Lakers, Nuggets, and Thunder this season. You talk about statement wins. The Blazers are just piling them up right now. But let's talk about our last winless team that is no longer winless. Nets at Pacers in Indiana. The Nets win this one 112-103. Michael Porter Jr. has 32 points in this one for Brooklyn. Congrats to the Nets for getting their first win of the season. But Tony, what happened to the Pacers tonight?
You and I are next up for that in the rotation. A number of injuries that they have. They're already down 8 guys. They have a 9th guy on a back break. 2 hardship players. It's November 6th. Cody Martin they signed today. It's not an excuse. They still had the best player on the floor in Pascal Siakam. They still should have been able to beat the Nets. If they're playing off, can't make a shot to save their lives. And some of that's who's playing and some of that's the injuries. But they get no love from anybody about injuries after the run that they just had. So got to make shots and play better because MPJ made shots. That's what he does. He's tall. He can make shots when he's guarded. The pitchers can't. Noah Clowney is pretty good. Tyrese Martin was pretty good. You got to be happy with the Nets. And like selfishly, as somebody who hates this stuff, especially when the Pistons lost a million games in a row, glad there's no dramatic like 0-11 team. Like when are the Wizards finally going to win? Like everybody won in a somewhat reasonable amount of time. We don't have to drag this out. And the Nets like don't suck. A lot of their guys who are bad are in the league right now. They had enough talent to be interesting tonight, but the Pacers really are not good. So not a surprising win for the Nets, I would say.
We got a lot more games to get to. We're going to wrap them up after this. We're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks, who Nick Engstad says might need a wake-up call. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get in on the action than on FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets and everything from who's going to score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Looking at the odds, Tony, the thing that sticks out to me, Jaime Jaquez Jr., sixth man of the year. It's getting juicy. He's improved from plus 2,000 to plus 1,400, fourth best odds for sixth man. He's playing really well for the Heat, who we're about to talk about here in a second. If you want to sprinkle a little bit of cash on sixth man of the year odds right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your first game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to Locked On NBA Game Night. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcast app. It's time to wrap up the night. 7 more games to get to, so we're going to do them quickly. Heat at Nuggets. The Nuggets beat Miami 122 to 112. Nikola Jokic with a 33-point triple-double. Here's Swipa from Locked On Nuggets with more.
The Denver Nuggets beat the Miami Heat 122 to 112 in a game where the Nuggets, they continue their streak. Little known fact, in all 7 of the games the Nuggets have played this year, they've had a lead of 12 or more in every single game. This Nuggets team is showing a level of dominance they haven't in the past, especially to start the year off. Nikola Jokic, dominant performance, 33 points, 16 rebounds, 15 assists, 3 steals. He was 12 of 18 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Aaron Gordon, 24 points. The Nuggets, they get another win. They're currently on a homestand. We'll see how they continue to build this momentum, but so far, the Nuggets are looking like a true powerhouse in the Mile High City.
Nuggets get a win on the night that the Thunder suffered their first loss. Go ahead.
Why do we judge teams based on the results of the playoffs when we could just check how many 12-point leads everybody had this season? Thank you,
Hang up the
Swipe.
banner.
That means nothing to me.
The other story from this game, Bam Adebayo left after 8 minutes with a left foot injury. Looked like he stepped on it weird, went straight to the locker room. Something worth monitoring for the Heat. He's going to undergo tests on Thursday. Don't look now, but the Pelicans have won 2 straight games. They beat the Mavs in a close one, 101 to 99. Here's more from Nick Engstad of Locked On Mavericks.
Ooh, if the coach didn't have a contract extension, this may be a game where the coach doesn't finish the night with the team, because the Mavs lose to the Pelicans. You can't lose to this team. This Pelicans team had just quit on its coach. Willie Green, the coach of the Pelicans, looked like he was a dead man walking with his job. They had lost multiple times by 30 points. They win last night against the Hornets. The Hornets didn't really have any of their players, though. And so you're like, all right, well, let's see. And then the Pelicans come out here and they beat the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavs, yes, they're missing Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, yes. But the Mavs have better players on the roster right now. The Mavs have a bunch of veterans on this team. They should beat this Pelicans team, and they lose by 1 point. Cooper Flagg had a shot at the end there. It didn't go down. Even if it went down, the offense just looks so bad for the Dallas Mavericks. We've been talking about it on the show the last couple of days, how badly they look. They're just not even getting shot attempts up in some of these possessions. Absolutely awful. Offense is awful. Decisions, I just don't understand. They did change the starting lineup, and then D'Angelo Russell looked really bad in that starting lineup. That's a roster decision from offseason that really is frustrating. The Mavs didn't add another real point guard to this team.
Tony, is this a wake-up call for the Dallas Mavericks?
I don't think so personally. I thought they were kind of overrated going into the season because their point guard situation is kind of crap. I think it should be a wake-up call. Like he said, choices that they made in the offseason, they're just not going to be a good offensive team. They bench because Clay's been playing crap. Like, they just don't have threats. And, like, Anthony Davis is obviously very good if they have him close a 2-point gap. But their offense is stinky, man. They're very good. And credit to the Pelicans not only for winning, but for Dick Queen, face of their struggles right now because of the trade that actually looking kind of decent. They really need him to do this, and he's doing it.
He's been a difference maker off the bench for them these last 2 wins. Also, not playing in these 2 games that they've won, Zion Williamson on the sideline in sweats. Is that something? Is it nothing? That's maybe something for Locked On Pelicans to discuss. In Boston, the Celtics took care of business against the Wizards. We've got more from Locked On Celtics. Tony, this is the one clip I didn't watch ahead of time. How much do you want to bet that John Corrales brings up Boston's shooting?
Oh, guaranteed coming. The first quarter, Wizards dominance, Alex and Boss shooting. That's all we know for sure.
All right, let's play it.
Celtics get the easy win over the Washington Wizards. Though it didn't start that way. The first quarter was bad. Celtics giving up a ton of second chance points, 15 in the first quarter to a team that averages 12 per game. And it didn't look great, especially after 2 bad performances for the Celtics. But Jaylen Brown was not going to let this one get away. He was amazing with 35 points in almost 26 minutes for Jaylen, who continues an all-NBA type start to his season. But I think the real story of this game was role players supporting Jaylen Brown. You got a great game from Josh Minott, who had his first 20-point game, 21 in this game for him. Lemish Queta had a double-double. Jordan Walsh came off the bench, and after a tough first quarter, was really effective in the second quarter. Defensively, grabbing rebounds, and the Celtics really limiting the second chance points the rest of the way. So the role players coming in to support Jaylen Brown, and some shots fell. Some shots fell for Derek White. He got a couple of shooter's rolls, which is nice. Peyton Pritchard was really
Don't care. I got the shots. The shots are in there.
I'm very... With no mention of 31 points for Alex Sarr, we would have hit the craziest bingo of all time right there.
The John Corrales bingo. Let's go to Detroit, where the Pistons beat the Jazz to win their 4th straight game. Cade Cunningham, 31 points and 10 assists. Here's more from Locked On Pistons.
It's a Locked On Pistons podcast. Kukio here. Before we even talk about the basketball game real quick, I'm standing right here on the 3-point line. This is at the rim. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm cushioning this. If I had a ball right here, this is not even that far. Like, I'm looking at the rim right now. It's easy. Anyways, Pistons win.
First time on a basketball court.
6-2. 4th straight win. They beat the Utah Jazz. Cade Cunningham comes out in the 4th quarter, had only 12 points in the 4th, or 12 points going into the 4th quarter, was having a bad game, 5 of 13 from the floor, and exploded in the 4th quarter with 19 points, hit 3 threes. We watched him hit or shoot a heat check 3 for the first time ever from behind me, right on the logo. Never seen him do it before. That's how good he was feeling. He played exceptional in the 4th quarter, continues to play extremely well in the 4th quarter this year. Jalen Duren with the 2020 game. In this game, we saw him self-create some Euro steps at the basket, floaters at the basket. He continues to play extremely well. 22 and 22 game, 21 years old. He's playing extremely well, and Asar Thompson with 18 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, which is what you like to see. And Isaiah Stewart with 4 blocks in the first half. The Pistons are 6-2. They're towards the top of the Eastern Conference. This is a really good basketball team. They're playing extremely well. Get the win over the Utah Jazz. Pistons are coming.
4 straight wins for the Pistons, Tony. They look good.
Dude, honestly, my takeaway from this game is that both of these teams look pretty good. The Jazz are not a joke at all. They actually look kind of decent every night. Their young point take a step. And the Pistons are still pretty good. They could beat a team like that. They've beaten good teams this year. It's awesome. Duren's awesome. All their role players are A, getting healthier, and B, playing pretty well. And if you put Koo on the floor, they'd make more threes. So credit to the Pistons.
Last couple of games, we're going to go to Memphis, where the Rockets handled the Grizzlies 124 to 109. Amen Thompson, 28 points, 10 and 7. But maybe more importantly, Tony, we have officially gone now 2 straight days without any Ja Morant drama. Just a normal day in Memphis for 2 days in a row. You could put that up in the office. Go ahead.
I'll start it. He stunk, man. Make shots. 6 for 14 for 17 points. I think the Grizzlies need to change their starting 5. This wing of Wells and KCP. They're like fine players, but they're like you just need a little more juice or something. Cedric Howard's played well this year. He didn't play well in this game. Like either put a ball handler or a better shooter on the floor. Those two together is just not enough. It's not enough support for John Jaren.
And finally, a weird one in Sacramento. Both the Warriors and Kings missing most of their impact players. Steph, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, all out in this one. The Kings win whatever it was, 121-116. 23 points for Russell Westbrook, 30 points for Warriors rookie Will Richard, whatever, however they pronounce it. And that wraps up Locked On NBA Game Night. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube wherever you get your podcast. For Tony East, I'm Wes Goldberg. This has been Game Night. Thanks for hanging out with us.